Hello, everybody. Welcome in. And and Sharon, I see your message, and I said a real quick prayer before hitting the live button. So thank you for being here, and and I understand that's the way my son is. He's in a hurry to get there. Um, so anyway, whenever he's driving. Anyway, welcome in for this is the month of July, and I like to do um Christmas in July. And so the themes that I come up with and that I'll be doing today are quick, easy sews for even a beginner. That's what I like to focus on, even though I'm very well trained. I like to sew for the beginners because everybody needs to sew. I love to sew, and it's fun, and you can really get creative with your sewing. Anyway, hello, my name is Gayle. The name of my channel is Gayle Designs, and today I am going to be making, for the first time, um, a gift card holder, and in it has the fold over, so it's like an envelope kind of thing, and it will have cam snaps. And this is the first time I'll be using cam snaps as well. So hopefully there'll be someone in the chat that can help me with that. And then the other things that I'm going to be doing is I've been making them. Y'all love it, and everybody that's seen them has loved it. And it's these cute mini tote bag charms and or purse charms. And um and I came up with another pattern last night where it's all one color down here, and then the top part is the color. So it's going to be the hazelnut tote, and then the top part is going to be the let me see, we always call it leopard, but it's not the leopard, it's the other thing. Anyway, we're going to call it leopard for right now. Um, so I'll be baking these because my family's doing they have slow down. Hello, Cheryl. I said, I got to get through my spiel and then I'll say hello. But I was like, I wanted to say hello to you and welcome in. I'm so happy that you're here. So I have so my family's, the community that they live in, the gated community, twice a year they have a yard sale. And so my family had mentioned it to me that, they'll pay the $20 fee because not all states do this. I know Louisiana does it and Texas does it, where you pay a $20 fee to have a yard sale twice a year. If you have it more than twice a year, then you need to have a tax number because it's considered a business. If you're doing a yard sale every week, it's a business. Hey, precious pieces, welcome in. So another modification I will be doing, but not today because it was just like I figured it out because everyone asks me if these are usable. These are just decorations. I struggled the other night, Monday, and of course it was a 6-hour long video, which isn't a problem for me because I'm up anyway. But at that time, my guest had already left, and because she is not used to being retired yet, and so she needed to get to sleep. Anyway, so I had figured out in my mind how you can make this usable, and so is just sew in Velcro in here because you want to close it. If you're going to put coin or something in it, you want it to be closable because you're hanging it on your purse. And so I was thinking, oh, it's like if you have Aldi's, you need to have a quarter for your shopping cart thing or buggy, whichever whatever you call it in your area. And so that would be cute. So you would just sew in um, the sew in Velcro so the whole thing stays closed. So you won't lose your quarter. So anyway, so I'll be doing the gift card holder. That's the first thing I'm going to do because that's new to my channel. I've made these before and everyone loves them. And I am gearing up for the craft fair. Yeah, excuse me, it's not a craft fair. It's a let's get some things I don't need anymore out of my house. So I'll be selling big items over at my family's community thing. And anyway, and because it's HOA, uh, they do have like a Facebook page for the community sale, and so things will be posted in there, and that goes out to public. So I'm excited. So I'm going to be selling just some small things, and that's what's nice about these Scrapbuster items is because they can be just little fillers on your table if you're doing craft fairs. So I'll be making this, but it's a new pattern. This is the tote bag, but it'll be folded in half, and like I said, so it cheetah print. So this will be the this color, and then the top part of it is going to be the cheetah. So I have that, and the other thing that I'll be doing, I think. Oh, I only have one I only have one cut. Um, I had the other stuff cut. I'll be making one more of these because that's all I have cut. And so these are the tissue holders. They're really big. Here, I know everyone at church always has carries around tissue. So anyway, and I had added this. I added this strap to the tissue holder design. I haven't seen anybody else with that, but that's what I did. And Bobby and I had figured out how to do it because I told her, I says, I want to add that because I don't like to, I carry a tote bag as my purse because I have to carry medical records and stuff. And so having the carabiner um, hooked to my hooked to my strap to my tote bag, then I can just click these in mine. The one that I have is purple and it's on my tote anyway. So yeah, just having all this stuff clipped in one place and is helpful to me. Of course, the bag, this I don't put on here because all my useful stuff is on here, and then this goes, as a charm. And of course, you can fancy these up with adding strings of beads or ribbon or something like that. I am just new to this, doing bag charms. I haven't done it yet. I want to get together with those that do make purses and bag charms because that's something that would be fun. And my great granddaughter can work with me with that because she will really love doing that. So that's the three things I plan on doing today. So, uh, whoops, let me not put that on there. Sorry. Thank you, Cheryl. And thank you. I really liked your little video, and I didn't watch it the first time you sent it to me, but I watched it the next day and it was perfect for what I needed. Oh, the other things that I'm not doing them today, but just so the wristlets, keychains, so I did this to match my um crossbody. and then this one I finished the other day. So these are on my agenda. And then I have chapstick holder that I'll be making probably next time. So and I cut the pattern out of for us that do rhinestones, and you have the heat transfer tape. Well, when the tape, you can't use it anymore because it doesn't pick up the stones anymore. What do you do with your the sheet that you put it on? I said, let me make a pattern out of it, just so I can write everything on it. And because I was just using paper. And so this is nice that it's, reusing something. And then of course the instructions I put on junk mail envelope. But anyway, so if you haven't seen my crossbody tote, this is the crossbody, and it's the snap purse, and I even have a pocket inside now. So I have 3 sizes, and I don't have them priced yet. So this can just go on there, and then you can hang things from it. But anyway, I love this. I carry my phone in there, and when I go to Hobby Lobby, and then that way, I'm just not having to dig into my tote bag for that. But anyway, so these are things, and I'll be selling these at the yard sale too. So I'll be making those. So like I said, that's on the 18th, and so I'll be busy all week getting, these done. So I said, I'm just gonna I'll be working on these, and we'll just be popping up, just turning the camera on, and so and I'll be making them. Whoops. And let's see, my phone's getting so. And I told my family. So my goal in selling the stuff, the big items at their yard sale thing is to get a new laptop. That's where my funds are going to go to. They thought that my old one got fixed, and it's like, nope. I've had experts, professionals. They even the Angel Good Samaritan that does my brain scans. He even sent it to New York to somebody that's supposed to fix everything, But nope, mine is not fixable, which is sad since it was meant to be forever, and it only lasted 2 days after warranty. So, but it was a gaming machine. But the thing is that it could be fixable, but it would cost more than what it would cost to buy a newer one. So, so that's how they deemed it. They just didn't understand. I don't have the money to buy a new one. So I will be saving for that. So these are my project boxes. So everything that I need to make. The tissue holders are in here. The mini the purse things are in here, and then this is the gift card holder. Now I still need to cut and put get the binding, but so the gift card holder is so I'm just starting off with the rectangle pieces, but it's going to have the curved top. And how I did that was I just measured, I just cut, make sure there's nothing on here that I just cut the piece that I need, and then I folded it in half, And then I took a lid to like my ice cream thing, and let me just use this for an example right now. So I don't have the other camera on yet. And okay, let me just do it this way. So I just kind of, that maybe not a good thing to, I can't see it anyway, but you know, I'm kind of blind. Anyway, so I just measured it up here to where uh it was along the top of this edge and along here, and then just penciled that there, and then cut it out. Now, when you all right, let me see if this is gonna turn the camera on. So when you put it on your fabric, you're going to you're going to lay it, you're going to match it up, and you're going to just draw this and leave it like that. And then when you're sewing them, well, I guess I'm going to do it this way. And then mark it, and you don't cut it because you're going to sew that. You're going to sew on that line, then trim off the corners. So that's how I did that, was just got a piece of paper, folded it in half, and then made my curve. Now you could totally do it with a box with the straight edge corner, and or you can do it like this. And then this is the tab. And let me see, because I know I wrote this stuff down. At least I think I did. Uh, yeah, cheetah, ginger. But anyway, I can tell you here. Um, lip balm holder. Okay, so I did not write it down yet, unless it's here. I have fabric choice. Nope. All right, I can tell you because I have to connect. So you need a front piece and a back piece. I'm doing this because I need one to hold my Cash App card and my Square card for my business. And of course, my colors are blue and green. And so I'm doing this, and I'm going to be doing two, but in reverse. I'm going to be doing uh, this as the lining and this as the outside. And then on the other one, I'm going to be doing the opposite, where this is the outside and this is the lining. So anyway, this is 7.5 inches long, and it's 4 3/4 wide. So you need two pieces of that. And then the tab to hold the lobster claw is 2 inches wide by 3 inches long. And um, and then you just need a fusible interfacing, just to give some body to the and you'll be to the gift card holder, and uh, you'll be fusing it to the outside fabric. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Stacy. I'm so sorry that you're looking forward to the building being empty, with no students or teachers there. And then they cut off the YouTube where you can't do that. Okay, so I know we're supposed to make this a little smaller than um like this is 4 3/4 by 7. So you make it a little bit smaller because you don't need and I didn't figure out the math. I did not figure out the math. So let me see if I can kind of eyeball it. So there's a 1/4 inch, and then so 7.5 would be 7 and 1/8, and then there. Okay. All right. And of course, I don't want to. All right. I have to remember this. All right. So 7.5, then bring this to here. My hair is being fluffy today. I haven't been outside in a couple of days. I know it's hot out there, but I don't know if it's humid. I go out today, family dinner day. So, sewing math, you know what your dimensions need to be. Then you add a 1/2 inch for the, which is a 1/4 inch on both sides. Um, let's see how this goes. It's not exactly a 1/4 inch. Um, it's like 1/8 of an inch. But anyway, so I'm going to go with that, uh, just for the sake of time. Um, maybe I'll make this one because I deducted a 1/4 inch when I needed to deduct a 1/2 inch. Okay, because the sides, I'm saying the ends I did. See, it's what when you hear me say sewing math is hard, sewing math is hard. Just because there's it, and it's easy thing to remember. A 1/4 inch times 2 is a 1/2 inch, so I need a 1/2 inch on the side and a 1/2 inch on. So I needed to actually. take a 1/2 inch. So not a 1/4 inch. So let me figure that one out while I'm here. So this is a 1/4 inch and this is a 1/2 inch. So I need 4 and a 1/4. Thank you all for being here and bearing with me while I figure this out. Okay, so um, usable interfacing is 4 and a 1/4 by 7.5 would be 7.5 would be 7. Duh. Sometimes it's so easy, it's blinding. Hey, Terry Hunt, welcome in. Okay, so then I can actually cut this down. So I need 7 and a 1/4. And it is almost 7.5. So let me go ahead and do this. And then it'll be good that I have it written down so I can do it correctly for my next one. And also I've tried this, I've tried using this fusible interfacing, and I don't know what I didn't do correctly. I couldn't get it to stay on. Maybe it wasn't hot enough. Let me go ahead and turn that on right now. All right, and then I need 7 inches. For those of you just coming in, I'm making a gift card holder that will have a cam snap closure and a tab with a key ring. Okay, there. That's better. And you'll be putting it on you'll fuse it on the back side of your front piece. This doesn't look, it's not. And that's going to be okay. Okay, so 4 and a 1/4 by 7. So this here is Pellon SF101. Connie uses that for her purses. So I got that because I was making a purse and it just got too complicated. So it's still in pieces and it'll get used. I mean, I'll make it sometime when things aren't, school's going to start up. I don't know when, but I was asked to tutor again. And so it'd be twice a week. And I don't know what else is going to get involved with it. My great granddaughter has moved back to Texas. Um, I can't see my line here. What is that one? Okay, so it's the first line. It's the first star above the line. All right. Sorry, I had everything else. I have everything else prepared, just not the lining, because it involved math, and I wasn't going to do that. I didn't go to bed till 6 o'clock this morning again. But see, that's what happens. I'm off schedule, and so I'll be off schedule for a little bit because Night Owl Crafting um, was up later. Haven't done that. No, I haven't done a 6 hour live in a long time. Okay, so 4 1/4. It's the first line above, the first star above the line. All right. I'm just going to go straight across here. Okay. And then I need 7 even. Okay, so I have enough for 2. And so this says, pin pattern in place, cover with thin, damp press cloth, wool, steam setting, press firmly for 10 to 15 seconds, repeat lifting. Okay. So let me go ahead and do that. I have all my fabric that I'm going to be doing all of these projects for the sale. It's all just stacked up here. Okay, this is the project box I'm using. This I will. So because it's stacked up here, you may hear it fall. Anyway, so I'm doing 2. I'm making 2, as I said, and one is going to be the blue-green lining, and the other is, yeah, so it's just going to be reverse of what. And I don't think I need to have the pressing cloth. This has the bumps on it, so that's going down on the fabric. I don't think I need the pressing cloth because the pressing cloth is really just to protect your iron from the adhesive of the usable interface. Okay, so that's the blue green. So then my other one that I'm doing will be this color as the outside. I'm going to be doing that with all of the fabric choices that I'm doing. Is I'll be doing 2. I'll cut it 2 out of each one and then just reverse the colors. And first come, first serve, All right, so I'm just going to place this on here. Sorry, I'm silent. I'm counting. Okay. So once again, this is 4 3/4 wide and 7.5 inches long. And then I just took a piece of paper and for the width of the design, I mean the fabric, and folded it in half and then used a jar lid to make it to trace a round edge and so that my flap will be have a rounded edge. And you can leave it square. You can leave it straight across if you want. Just make sure you know it's your and you could do it even if you wanted to do if you had like a scallop, however you want to do it. You just have to make sure you push out all those scallops. Um, Anyhow, so that's my pattern, and then I'll be tracing. I did it. This one didn't turn out even. What? Because I traced it then onto. This is the cardboard that comes with the back quarters, and so then I just traced it again at that, and then I had to mark it. Do this side, not this side. So, um, checking this. It's adhered this time. So this is the blue one. So that means that the this one goes with that. And as you could see, I didn't, oh, maybe you can't see. The interfacing doesn't go to the edge because you don't want that bulk in the seam. Need to press. How's this one? I'm gonna press the linings so that'd be crisp. This one's Let me get that one again. Okay. I told you I have everything stacked up here. I don't know why that fell. But anyway, it wasn't me that fell. Hi, Karen Knighton. Welcome in. All right. So here's my front of this one and my front of this other one. Whoops. Get all these threads out of there. All right. So then I'm putting this one. I don't know if y'all heard that, but my stack just had an avalanche over there. All right, so here's one. And here's the other one. Oh, I know what I need to figure out. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do the before I stitch these together, because I know I need to put the tabs in there. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the tabs. And I have extras because I just cut everything on the fold, so that these will get used another time. So my first thing I'm going to do with these tabs is I'm going to first fold it in half, and then so I can, and then press that so I know where to go. And then this is going to come half, meet it up in there, and then here, and then fold again. So this is going to be my tab, and then I'll stitch this. And I'll be using the 1/2 inch things. I don't know. I think I think I'll use the lobster claw. Otherwise, you could do just the D ring and then attach it with your carabiner, or maybe you have a lobster claw attached to your key ring, something. So I'm going to go ahead and press these and then stitch them. And I have to change my thread, I see. You just want to bring it up to that fold line, not over it, because then they won't be tabs. Thank you. And then, hey, Robin. Hi, Geneva. Welcome in. So I'm doing a gift card holder. And it's my first time doing it, and I'm thinking of all the things that I need to remember. Like I need to, because I'm just kind of making it up. So I know I'm going to have to figure out where my folds are going to be, because I need to do my placement before I stitch these closed. So if you've made them before and you have an idea of what I need, they're 7.5 inches long. The fabric is 7.5 inches long. So I guess it's, since I don't have exact measurements. Oh my goodness. All right. The steam got my finger. There we go. Yeah, steam, the steam got my finger really good. I think many of our crafts that we do end up removing our fingerprints. Burn them off, not on purpose. I like to stick a colored piece of paper or something behind the needle so I can see where the hole is. And this does have a self threader. Geneva, have you learned how to use yours yet? I think you said you did. It's still a hit or miss. So I'm using, I was gifted this Brother XR3774. I love it. And it's a really great machine. A workhorse. And it came with all these bobbins. So as I take one out, then I put an empty one in there so I know where it's supposed to go. Okay. And it has the self threader, which a lot of machines, it's a manual machine. And it has the self threader. But I just haven't taken the time to. I know that it's oh, you use it. Okay. Yeah, Robin, I try and be careful. I have my glove right there. Okay, so I'm going to stitch, I'm going to do the stitching of my tabs. Well, I need to, well, you've been following me, you know, I've been going through a lot with the surgeries and stuff. And then the fall. And then, so that's been going through a lot. So, but I will learn it. I know with my brother embroidery machine, I use it. And then, and I'm familiar with when you do it, it doesn't always, it's not always successful the first time you do it, and you just do it again, push the lever down again. All right. So I can drive with, and when I say drive, I mean I'm driving the sewing machine. I'm back to using my right foot again, but it was hurting quite a bit Monday night. And then I had to switch back to my left foot. Geneva, does it stay tucked up? Oh, you can't even see. Oh, I'm so sorry. Does it stay tucked up like this when you're not using it, or once you release it, it'll be down in front all the time? I didn't pay attention to that bobbin thread, and so it's here, but that part's getting cut off anyway. So I'm not going to be worried about it. And so I have this one done, and this one I'm going to do for this one. The paisley is going to be my front fabric, and so this will be my tag. Oh, here I'm out of camera again. So this will be my tab. I just have to figure out where I need to place it. And I've got my notes here. So I kind of play around with themes and just have it kind of in notes and stuff like that. And then when the pattern works out, then I do write it nicely when I'm not guessing and scribbling, and then I do write it in my um notebook that I have. And it really helps having that in the notebook. I just have 5 notebooks. And so I have one for what I do on Wednesday on Gayle Designs channel, and then just night out crafting is kind of I do all kinds of things on there. It stays tucked up like that. Okay, thank you. Right now, I'm just keeping this quilt bar in because for the arthritis in my wrist, it was hard to get in there because it's really snug. So I didn't want to have to go through that again. So I just move it out of my way. It's just when I'm pulling, when I'm reaching for this and I didn't that. So I love it. All right, I think I'm gonna do a stitch down the other sides just so it's nice and uniform. So just have just that stitch down there. Then I'm going to go ahead and do this other side. Not too much. And I'm doing a stitch length of 3 and stitch width of 5. I don't know if stitch width first is important when you're doing straight stitch. Geneva has the same machine, and then Veronica has the same machine. One night, hey, Bondi Creations, welcome in. And I'm so happy to hear you're breaking out the sewing machine. It was just a matter of time, just a matter of time. Um, so Geneva was in the chat and we're like, working through the same machine because it was new for her too. And then she left to go to bed. And then but Vanessa has the same machine and she stayed in. I think I know there's oh, it's Veronica, not Vanessa. Veronica. And I think she's on the West Coast. So anyway, so then it was like a tag team. She Geneva left and Veronica took over to be my helper. Okay, so now I'm going to add the curve up here and not that side, trace this end. So this is actually the lining, which doesn't matter because I'm stitching them together. And let me make sure that they're so I'm making it to where it has a curved top, but I'm not cutting the curve. I'm going to stitch it first. And I'm just going to add some pins in here I'm sorry, so that it's not shifting. Actually, now I'm taking the pins out because I have to trace this. So this is going to be my top. Hi, Marlise, welcome in. So this part is going to be my top. So what I how I made this was I just took a piece of scrap paper, junk mail actually, and made it the same width as what my gift card holder is going to be. Then I folded it in half, and then I took a jar jar lid and then just traced that and then trimmed it and checked it out. So that's the curve that I wanted. You can leave it straight across if you wanted. Then it would be like this, and then you just have corners. But that's what I love about sewing is you can be as creative as you allow yourself to be. So then I'm just measuring this up, the sides and the top here, and then I'm just going to use this one is a water, what do they call it? Washable fabric pen. Hey, Evelyn. You're on puppy duty. He's been so good. Yeah, my family had the kids, you know, they miss their dog, the same breed. And but he isn't he's not made for South Texas weather. We tried to rehome him with family in Wisconsin because he would have loved that. So these are 7.5 inches long and 4 3/4 wide. I did the usable interfacing, which is SF 101. I cut that 4 1/4 by 7 inches, and then I still have to figure out my placing where I'm going to put the tag. And you do not have to add one of these. You could just do real quick, simple, stitch it all the way. Well, you do want to leave an opening, but and you don't add a D-ring or a lobster claw. You don't have to do that. I'm just a little extra. I'm just a little extra because I'm not doing mine for gift tag. I'm doing mine for my Cash App card, because when I get blessed on my Cash App, that is strictly for my buying fabric and things I need for the business. Hey, Demps, welcome in. And so I will clip that to my tote bag when I go shopping, or my key ring. So that's why I'm adding a lobster claw, because then I have a carabiner, which actually with the carabiner you can use the D ring too. You just, but anyway. So now I have my markings on. I do need to figure out how far up I need to go. And also, what am I using? Am I using D-ring, or am I using the clip? And I'm just going to do a tack stitch to stitch these together, because I have a way of them just down at the end, which will be cut off, but I want to make sure that they stay together, because they have a habit of sliding apart. For me. All right, so I'm doing Sharon, are you still on the road? I know you're not the one driving, but I just would like to know you made it safely. All right. I always hang on to this when I stitch. But sometimes when you go live, you forget, and it made a mess. But that's getting cut off anyway. So I'm not concerned. Okay. And um, I'm going to go ahead and I guess so. Here's a card. And let me put this, let me just do one line. Okay, that looks good. Let me figure that out. So, oh yeah, sewing math. We have to figure this out. So we're going to have a seam. So it's going to actually be this and then bring it up. Okay. All right. So that gives enough room. So that's 5 and a, wait. What? Sharon. Oh my goodness. Now, is he older than you or younger than you? Because if he's younger than you could pull the older sister, card. Oh dear Lord. I I am sorry. I am doing this for the first time live. Made up the pattern because when you see something, it's like, oh, I can do that. Well, then there's things you have to know, like how far up do you put this and put down, and and if I was just stitching this, it really wouldn't matter right now. It would be okay, great. Continued prayers for both you and him, Evelyn. It's good to know that he graduated to the next step of recovery um, for his fall. And a broken leg. Um, okay, so as what I was saying, if I wasn't putting this in here, I wouldn't need to figure this out just yet. I would stitch it together, turn it out, and then figure out how far I'm going to need to put this up. But because I need to know how far this is going to go up, I have because I'm using this, I have to figure out how far this is going to go up so that I know where I need to put this. And I'm thinking, so this is where this will cover, the gift card is in there. So that's 2 inches from the top. And then I would want it here. So if it's going here, this is actually on the right side. And I want it to be over here. We're going to figure this out. Okay. So hey, Spilling Diversity, thank you for coming in. Hope all is well with you and your fam. And then this is going to come on down. That looks good. Okay. So I'm going to want, and this isn't the right one because I want it to be opposite of what the front is. Okay. All right. You know what? We're just going to do this. So I'm going to put it here, which is not the correct spot. So let's go 2.5 inches down from the top. And I keep looking at the chat to see if anybody is experienced in this and can say, no, you need to have it here. Because I don't mind if you chime in, if you've done this before and help me out. Or maybe me figuring it out is like, oh, yeah, she could do it that way. All right. So I'm going to just clip that. Well, I can't clip it. I'm just gonna stitch it. I'm gonna sit down and think, is that really where it needs to be? Or it needs to be inside? I think it needs to be inside. We're gonna figure it out. All right, so 2.5 inches down. From the top. You know what? I'll just watch my replay. I was gonna say, oh, I should write this down, but we're figuring it out. It might not be where I need it to be. All right, so this one is, the front of this is the green, and I'm using the lining as my tab. Yeah, thank you, Marlies. Because with the snap purses, it's opposite because you're doing French seams. So, and that, those are the only ones that I've done. So I'm going to tack this down to here. So we're going 2.5 inches down. You're welcome, Evelyn. If we lived there, we'd be there to hug you, hold your hand, and bring you casseroles. Okay. So this is my front piece. It has the lining on it. And I'm just tacking this down because once it gets all that in, all the other stitching, it could shift and go crooked. And see, it's pushing it as I'm doing this. So I have to like stay under here. There we go. Okay. And then do you have, Evelyn, do you have somebody that's going to take care of the puppy while you have a slumber party with your husband at the hospital? See, and that's crooked already. So, that's what I did when my husband had, this was a long time ago because he's no longer with us, but, um, he had, I think it's called lip see, it's like he had gallstones really bad and not gallstones, kidney stones. And so hey Jesse, welcome in. And so they had blasted the stones. It was quite a process. They said, normally we don't let people in here, but I'm in the medical field. And so they let me come in there and watch. And, but then they just brought in a cot and, in his room. And then I had to spend the night because he had to stay there while he passed all the bits and pieces. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm not going to pin it. I'm just going to make sure I hold it really good because when it does that first stitch, it pushes. And I'm going to fight back this time. Not going to let it push. And this is just an extra step. This is just me securing my tab because I don't want to take everything apart to fix it when I get it all stitched together and it leaned. Now it's straight. Hopefully that was enough to where it's going to behave itself. All right. So is this is the front part and then yep, and so then that'll go out like this. And then it ends up being on the left side. So if you want your tab to be on the left side, you sew it on the right side. If you want it on the right side, you put it on the left side. Okay, so because I already have this marked where I need to make the curve, and I almost put it on the bottom. Okay, so I'm just putting pins in the middle, so they'll be out of the way. But I need to leave an opening for the bottom. So I'm putting a green pin where I start and a clip and a red clip where I need to end. Just another one of Gayle's little crazy things she does in her head. All right. All right. I'm going to hang on to my threads so that they don't ball up. How's it going, Jesse, over there? Is it told that you like it? I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And hang on to my threads. My mom's rehab had care puppies some days to help patients. If the patient had a private room, they may allow as a care puppy. What do you call the puppies that help folks? No, it's not cold, Jesse. Okay, so I'm doing 3 as my stitch length and 5 as my width. And this is a straight stitch. I will be doing back stitch. Yeah, they may allow that because it's his puppy, and that puppy is missing him as well. Um, and you know, and it definitely does help people calm, petting either a cat or a dog, it does help them with the heart. It calms me. Uh, sorry, my leg is starting to shoot pain. To switch to driving with my left foot again. Now, I've been doing this corner. And then when you're making the corner and you need to realign, just make sure your needle is in your fabric and lift your presser foot up and swivel. Turned that corner really well. All right, so I'm going to stick my fingers on the other side of this tab to prevent it from shifting, even though I do have it um, basted down. I want to make sure it's still not going to shift on me. Yes, there's probably lots of rules, but it may be possible, but it wouldn't hurt to ask. Maybe they would let the puppy spend the night, one night, especially on a night that you're going to stay as well. He is approximately 1 old. He is silly, won't stay still, wiggly, screaming, extra large dog. Yeah, it's grandparentese. Okay, here's the tab. My fingers are out of the way. All right. It handled it well. I always do that. He was nearby when my husband fell down and barked and barked and barked and barked until I came outside. He's wonderful. In that case, Miss Evelyn, you may only be able to bring him to a common area and they can wheelchair your hubby to visit and anyone else that wants to visit at their own risk. Yeah, I know. We nicknamed ours Baby Huey because didn't really like the name my granddaughter had. She I can't say it. It starts with a K and ends in a R, and I can't say it on YouTube. But I was like, I just don't. He is totally opposite. He's a lover, not that name. So we named him since he was living with us and she was not. She went off to college. We renamed him Baby Huey because he was like a Shetland pony. He was huge like a Shetland pony and such a big love. My goodness. She called him her emotional support dog. And I said, so he's supposed to be your emotional support dog. Why does he come over to me, lay his head in my lap, and look up at me with those big brown eyes? And she goes, because after he takes care of me in an episode, he needs support. I go, yeah, that's what it looks like. But and the kids being little kids, and he was the size of a Shetland pony. They would get on his back, and I would tell him, it's like he's not made for that. His back is not supporting that. Um, I did really good. I did really good around this corner, um, because I was thinking when I drew that line that was going to be. I'm trying to get my finger over there. I was thinking that was going to be my stitch line, um, but you run the presser foot. You just in your mind have to think that this line is the edge of your fabric, and so this one's good. It just doesn't appear to be a quarter of an inch. I'm gonna see, and now that I've done it, I'm gonna be more mindful of the fact that I need to run the edge of my presser foot along that line. I have to because my brain works with real. Yeah, with the I, Evelyn. And so when you now divide that up between the two L's, and when you're calling him outside, it sounds like you're saying her. And in the community that my family lives in is, if you heard me mention it before, it's law enforcement, it's military, it's border patrol, it's all those sexy uniforms. And so you definitely don't want to be yelling blank her out the door, even though that's what it sounds like. And so anyway, so yeah, we called him Baby Huey, and he was just happy to be called anything. But yeah. So I'm going to restitch this corner. because I want it to be the same as the other one. And there, yeah, I can do that. Okay. Now that I'm aware of that's what I need to do, that's what okay. And it's but anyway, yeah. So they actually he died of cancer, and um it's like they put, they we didn't even know. That's how kind-hearted he was is he never let it. I mean, he was suffering so much with the skin condition because his skin was not made for the heat. And he needed to wear like the t-shirts because he had pink skin. And he had to have the t-shirts, but he had so much fluff. And even though they say, don't cut their hair, and but I don't know. But anyway, they had sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm taking out, well, actually I don't need to take that out because that's going to get cut off. But I was taking out, so here's what I did. So I this this here is the first line that I did, and I know that's not a 1/4 inch. You can kind of see. And so now I realized when I did the other corner that I need to run the edge of my presser foot along this line. So here's where the other line is. So this is actually getting cut. So I don't really need to trim the I don't need to trim the I don't need to pick the threads out. Okay, so then I received a blessing, got my pinking shears. So going to trim with the pinking shears this corner, which then helps with the rounded corner to lay smooth when you trim it. All right, so then I'm going to go down, and hopefully this is all, since I'm trimming this, and I'm avoiding um staying away from the stitchings. And then I'm just matching up. It's cutting easy. It's not difficult to cut, except for here's the tab. I'm just matching up my um stitch line. I mean my tooth. I'm putting the tooth in the same place. All right. Yeah, so check into the oh, so what I was saying was, so we got one of those pet vacuums, and oh, he loved it. He loved it. Um and I would say, "Here, you want," and I didn't even have to, he just like, "Do you want?" And he'd walk over to where that vacuum was. It's like a long canister one, has the hose, and it has the filter, and so you just, oh, it's like a brush, and then it gets all that under fluff out, and it just cooled him off. He loved it. Kevin, not so much. Kevin has a lot of hair too because he's part chow, and but he he'll, like, if you say, "Kevin, come here," and he'll come because he thinks you got something. And then when you touch that hose, um he like, nope, no thanks, but he would do it with a smile. He's such a smiley dog. Um, so you have the combs for your Dyson. Yeah, so that's good. Um, we don't have carpet in South Texas. I don't know, some houses may have it, but we do not. Okay, and then you can, just for a little extra support for your curve to be smooth, is just do a couple little snips in there on the curved edges. Again, being mindful not to get into that um, your stitches and so let's see what we got here. I know when I did house cleaning, I was so grateful when all and they all had pets. They all had dogs. Some like the miniature schnauzers, they don't shed, so but they definitely drip. But a vacuum's not going to take care of that. But yeah, they would. They had the beards, and so they would get drips on the floor. And that house didn't have. Well, they had carpet in like the living room, but the kitchen, many of the rooms was not carpeted. It was tile. All right. Hey, Barb, welcome in. Yeah, I think that we just don't have carpet because it makes it hotter, and so. But their house in Houston also. Well, so all of the living area um, was not carpeted; it was tile, and then but the bedrooms were carpeted. How are you out there, Barb? Okay, so for my first curved, that looks really good. Okay, all right. So I'm going to press this. This is the one where this is the front and this is the lining. So I'm just going to tuck in this seam. I don't have any carpet, a big rug in the living room and one in the dining room. Okay, and you're cold. You live in a cold region. We had my dad built our house and he finished it in 1956, and that's the year I was born. And so I always thought that the house would be left to me. Okay, great. Um, but no, he passed away. He was actually killed in a car accident, and so eh, his wife will- his wife was not kind to his children. She actually didn't even honor his will. She took everything and left. Right, so I'm going to poke this out. Okay, Evelyn, have a nice nap. Get some puppy cuddles before you head over to the hospital for your husband. You all be happy. I'm putting on my glove. Okay, doing good. Because the steam is evil. Yes, I'm getting ready to do a batch sewing. Just get everything cut out and put into the little project boxes. I love having the project boxes. So get everything cut out and and then just stitch, do the everything that I can do. Need trying to get this, get that seam tucked in there. I need to tuck that in. This is um this is the chalk pencil anyway, but it has, this is kind of rubber. And so I use that to be my gripper to push in the seam. Hmm. Okay. I want to pull this out a little bit more. Okay. Sorry for the pause, I'm thinking, because it's not a pattern that I'm following or anything. It's just it, uh, creating it in my mind. I mean, figuring it out. So want to do a top stitch, but I guess I could do a top stitch. And then when I stitch this together, I'd have to go exactly on the same thing, on the same line. Okay, so this was 2 inches down to, No, I don't need to do a top stitch. Seeing it like this now, I can see, no, I don't need to do a top stitch. So this is where it needs to be. Well, I think that's where it needs to be. Let's see. So all right. Measure that again, make sure. Oh, I know how. Okay. Sorry. I'm saying sorry because I don't want to be wasting your time. But once I figure this all out, then it'll be zip, zip, zip. Okay, so figured out how to do the clips without being okay. So then I'll be stitching all along here. So that's why I say I don't need to do a top stitch up here because this is all going to be the stitch. We're just not going to do any stitching down here. But I do want to make sure, okay, that's good. It's good down there. All right. So let me go ahead and clip this again. Use my red clips for no stitching here. Okay. Yes, I did go through all of my clips and removed. Just 2 inches from this top. Good. Not good. Oh boy. Oh, for those of you that are watching the replay, thank you. um, you see my brain working. And my brain gets tested, examined twice a year, which I'm grateful for. Like the first time that they did that scan, I'm like, why do you suspect something? But then a friend of mine is in church, and she uh she had a seizure in church, which was actually a stroke, and they got her to the hospital, and she passed away. So, and she was a year younger than me. So I was grateful that they were doing the brain scans, because if there's any kind of sign, pre-sign, then please. Now I wonder, all right. So this this is a gift card, and forget about that 4 3/4 being the width. I would do, or you would do, so I did a 1/4 inch seams, but if you already cut your fabric at 4 3/4, do a 1/8 of an inch seam instead of a 1/4 inch seam, because if you can see, Let me get there, you can see that better. Um, you can see how close that is. So I'm going to have to do an 1/8 of an inch top stitch. Did I even do that right? Yeah, I guess I did. I can't think of any other way to do it. All right. Well, that's what you want to do anyway, is a close to the edge stitch. But this really doesn't give you any grace for anything else. So we're going to go with this. We're going to see how this is. And I already have this one cut. You know, I have the other one cut. So we'll just have to go with it for this. But for comfort, maybe I want to make it a little bit wider, since I'm going to be batch sewing these. So I'm glad I put the well, not the credit card, but and it would go down further if I didn't have these clips in there. But I'm glad I discovered, because I was going to do a 1/4 inch, which doesn't make sense when it's a top stitch. Okay, tell you. Well, I did get 6 hours sleep, which is more than I normally get. But like I said, I went to bed at 6, but I didn't get up until 1 in the afternoon, so I wasn't tired either. Okay, so I am going to be doing a top stitch. So let's see. I'm going to start here because and I'm going to going to hang on to these threads so they don't bunch up underneath. And I'm going to get close to the edge, and then I'm going to back up to the edge instead of starting at this edge. I'm going to back it up to that edge. And I'm going to put my needle. Oh, I'm glad I did that. Let me go. I'm going to put my needle down where I want it to be. I'm going to go forward a little bit. Oh, now I know what. Okay. Now I know what needed to be top stitched before stitching this together. Needed to top stitch along here. Figuring it out. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Hang on to my threads. And I'm going to turn it. That's what I made note of when Marilyn was making her scrunchy key fobs, is instead of backing up, she turned it so that she can sew on the same lines. So I said, "Oh, I'm making note of that, and that's what I'm going to do because I don't always back it up on the same line, same stitch." So I'm just going extra over the tab. It was not wanting to move. Okay, now we can finish it up. I always think this, it's like, oh, it's just so easy. It's going to take only like 15 minutes. And like, I better have extra projects to do um, to fill the hour. Okay, so I handled the first corner like a pro. Second corner kind of went off the edge. Kind of went off. So I'll fix that, but not going to waste your time. I'll take that apart. So that that fits in there really. I mean, it's kind of snug. So I will be changing this instead of 4 3/4. I'm going to make it 5 inches wide, and or you could stay with the 4 3/4, and then instead of doing a 1/4 inch seam, um, do 3/8 or an eighth, but it fits in there. That's the thing. It does fit in there. And then the next step would be this cam snaps. And so let me go ahead and stick this here. And I know I have the gift card in there, but I'm just going to press this edge here. So I don't melt the card, but Thank you, Jesse. I do need to take that stitching out, and because I can't even, this is my prototype, but I can't show this as an example of what I'm selling, because unless I just put it in my great grandma, um, great granny, great granny doing the best she can category of my website. But yeah, I like that. And then the snaps, I have the kit. This was also a blessing. Um, I was gifted the channel, the channel blessing. I think this one looks good with that. I'm sorry, you can't see that. I have to remember, I just have to do opposite of what I need. Okay, let me get this color. I think that color will look good with that. I mean, it matches it. For this one, for this side, I may want to do something like that. Or I could like, because the other one is going to be, this is going to be the outside of the other one. And the other blue is way off. Well, maybe not way off. Let me get the flat one. There's also this green. Oh no, that's too bright. That's too bright. Might stick with just the same. Thank you, Barb. So that's my colors is blue and green. So this is HTV, and it's aqua, and then I use peridot. I'm designing one that's Night Owl Crafting with Gayle Designs, and it's an owl. It's just I'm doing it all 100% rhinestone. So if you've made a rhinestone design, and I'm figuring that out myself. That's another thing I'm figuring out. And I have it up in silhouette, and I'm playing with it, and just, but it's not going to be HTV and rhinestones. It's going to be all rhinestones. Hey, Terry Hunt. I think I already said hello to you. Anyway, so I'm sorry. So what do y'all think that this is a good color for this? I have not done cam snaps yet. Um and but I do want to fix this before I do it. Before I do this. Whoops. So this is the aqua one. So what's our time? Oh, I've already been on 2 hours. I'll do the I'm going to stop this project here. This other one is going to be the opposite. It's going to be, this will be the lining and this will be the exterior, and it's going to have the lobster claw. So I want to take this out and then restitch that. And so that will be, I'll finish that I'll finish that after here, and I'll do this one because I want to get to the other, the mini. Thank you. That's the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to put that in here. So I can now, I'm just going to put a piece of it in there. So I know that that's the one that I'm going to do. And then, of course, I chose the set that had the green. Okay, so that I'll do later. So, but I did say in my chat, I mean, in my description that I was doing the mini tote bag purse charm. So this is the way, this is my original pattern. And then my pattern that I just did last night is going to be, this is the purse, and then it's going to have this as the topper part. So let me get my thread changed and then I'll do that. But I have more of the fabrics. I have these fabrics cut out for this tote, for this type tote. And I still have to stitch this one closed. And people were asking me Monday night if you could put coins in there. Well, this is just to be like a novelty item. It's stuffing. But if you wanted to do it without the stuffing, you could sew in the hook and the hoop and hook, Velcro, so that it will close. And then you can do like your Aldi's quarter. You could stick your Aldi's quarter in there so you always have your quarter. For those of you that have Aldi's, we only have HEB here in our area, HEB or Walmart. Okay, so I'm putting everything back in this project box for my thing, but it looks good. It's totally functional as it is. It'll have the cam snap here so you can snap it closed. Then you can hang it on to something. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something small and that I can hang on the inside of my purse, so that and it's going to be just my Cash App card, so that when I go to Michael's, buy shirts, or Hobby Lobby, and Walmart to buy some material from my blessings, then that's, it's not in my wallet to be, it's special. That's for the business. So what I have to do is keep funds separate so that they get spent in the right place. So, so let's move on to this. I need to switch out to the black thread for this, and I can go ahead and do this. This I'll be pressing just like the other tabs. This is actually the handle for the tote bag, so I will be getting it down, pressing that. Put my glove on since I'm already burnt from the steam. But these are these little tote bag first charms are I call them a crowd pleaser. And I might make some. I might make some for the yard sale with the Velcro. Kind of want to just make a few items, make multiple of a few items because I don't really want to distract from me selling the bigger stuff because the bigger stuff is what's going to get me closer to getting a new laptop. And getting stuff out of my original craft room, which is now a storage room, is what I had to empty out my storage unit, and so all that stuff is in there now, and I have to move it in order to get to the supplies that are still in there. And that's how I fell and hurt my leg. Was I was climbing over something and my leg slipped. Hopefully you all could hear me when I was over there. And my leg slipped and I got jabbed from a crate. So a big chunk of my leg was cut out. So family says, that's it. All right. So the white bobbin is coming out. So we're it's just normal for us. We're always, it's normal for us to be over 100. We're have they said, you might have heard me say this on one of my other shows. The meteorologist has jokes. He told us, he announced that we have a cold front coming, and it was going to be 98, 99 the next day, or in a couple days. It's already passed now, and that's what he was calling a cold front, because we're always over 100, which we've been well over 100. And so yes, so 98, 99 is a cold front compared to 120, 125. So, and I'm so grateful that we don't have the humidity here, like in other parts of Texas. And otherwise, I would not be enjoying living here. And but because there's always a breeze, so it doesn't really feel that hot. And of course, once it's 100, it's all just a number after that. It doesn't really feel any hotter. Just like when I lived in California, 70 was my perfect weather. Anything, and 75, 80 was hot to me. And I would say, yeah, after that, it's just a number. Yeah, if I lived there, that would be fine. Barb, 69, 70 would be perfect. But because I know it gets a lot colder where you live. And so that would be perfect. You just get you just I get used to what where I'm at. I have lived in many states. I remember the first time we lived in Colorado, and when we moved from Colorado to California, um, we were wearing tanks and shorts, and people at the bank were like freezing, and they're all bundled up in like long sleeve sweaters and pants, and they were freezing. And my husband and I looked at each other, and it's like, I don't know what freezing is, because I lived in Chicago. It's below zero, so I know what freezing is. And the weather they're experiencing that day was not freezing. But then we got used to that weather, and yes, it was cold. Okay, so this is a little different than the other ones that I've been making. So this is the base of the little tote bag, and it goes this direction because it's going to go this way. And so I'm going to be stitching. I'm going to be stitching this along the top, and then again down on this side, this other one on this side. So we'll go over. Oh, um, let me grab my bobbin. And where I lived in California was Northern California, um, which we didn't get snow often, but we did get snow. And sometimes you couldn't even tell, is it snow or is it ash from the fires? But yeah, you'd have to look at the hood of your car or the windshield. If it melted, it was snow. If it stayed there, it was ash. And because never knew when, because the fires change, it shifts quite often, quite fast. So you can go to bed and it's far enough away. Then you wake up and your car is covered in ash, and it's because the fire is now closer. Or some fool broke out started a fire um, elsewhere. So I'm doing an eighth of an inch seam. I think it's an eighth of an inch. I don't know. It's not to the edge. It's at the inside of the hole here. And my fabric just folded up. Again, this is just something that I made up. So I'm figuring it out as I do this. But I'm doing an eighth of an inch. If I say it so that if I'm watching my replay, then I know what it's doing. And these pieces, I do centimeters now, but this um so for the body, um it is 2 3/4 by 3 and 1 2 3 4 5/8, 3 and 5/8. 3 5/8, 2 3/4. And then the top part of it is 1 and 1, 2, 3/8, 1 3/8, and by 2 3/4. And then the strap piece is 1 and no, excuse me. It's 7/8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8. It's 7/8 wide and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8, 3 5/8 long. And it comes out to be this skinny when you do all the folding. Okay, Barb, thank you. Oh, wait, Cheryl, sorry. You're right underneath Barb. All right, thank you so much for coming in. I always like seeing you here. All right, then I'm going to so I stitched this one. Now I'm going to stitch this one. I'm going to hold my threads and we're going to do the inside of that. Okay, then we're going to press this open. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and so I'm matching up my seams. While I figure things out here. So we're not going to be stitching along here yet. So we're going to sew the side seams, then we're going to box the corners. That's what we do. But I want to do, um, I want to press down my stitch there. I mean, my, or maybe I do that. I could probably do that. uh, After I'm going to do it before. It's difficult being so small. It's difficult to do that stitching. I mean, to do the folding once once the sides are stitched. I know I used to do it that way, but I don't know. I think when I do my batch sewing, I'm going to do all these tiny little straps all at the same time. Because they um they take some concentration because they're so tiny. All right, there's that. Okay. Um, all right. I'm going to just go ahead and leave the top, and I'm going to just stitch the bottom down here. Where I'm still doing less than a 1/4 inch. I can see in the inside of my thing. I'm not going to the edge of the presser foot. I have the edge of the fabric on the inside of the hole that's in there. And I'm thinking it comes out to be 1/8 of an inch, but I don't know. As long as I'm consistent, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's 1/8 of an inch. Monday I did the one that I did. I used a 1/4 inch seam, and then I was like, I could barely get my finger in there to turn it, and so it's like I switched it to the 1/8 inch seam. Ah, I'm using my left foot on the pedal. I am still getting used to doing that. But it's like Nobody said that life gets easier when you get older. Okay, so now I am going to stick my finger down here and grab this corner and flatten that corner. And I'm just going to stitch across here, and that will give it what it needs. And I'm making sure that it's not gapped underneath here. So this takes it from being a flat tote to making it into a boxed corner. And I'm sure you can measure what you know, but I just stick the point of this corner to the edge of my presser foot. Bear with me while I figure it out. So that's just how much it looks right there. And maybe you can tell to just that much. And then go over and do the other side. Hi, Sherry. Welcome in. Happy you made it in here. So I'm doing a different version of my little mini tote purse charm. And because I'm filling it with fiber fill, polyester fiber fill, I don't need to clip these off. But if you were going to do it like hey, Rosalind Lewis, welcome in. So if you were going to do it as a little tote and you're going to put like the Velcro up here for closing, then you might want to clip the corner off or hand stitch it closed, whatever. Yes, I do. I have a website, and these are not on the website yet. It is in my description. I don't know if you can, you're probably on, if you're on your phone, then you won't be able to use this, scan this, but it is up in my channel description. So this one is my Square site. So actually there's that. So it's www.gayle.designs.square site, or is it the H, whatever. But anyway, so the link is up there. So that's, I'll get these listed, but yeah, so I'm just doing, right now I'm getting these ready for a yard sale that's coming up. and then I'll be making for I'll post them in there. All right, so then we're just going to turn this over, and as I was saying, so these um I'm doing these as bag charms, and so they're going to get stuffed, and but somebody wanted to do, like put coin in there. So I would do, as you would top stitch around, you know, bring these down, top stitch around it. Probably, I don't know. I just use one strap because it gets stitched together and hung. But you could put like hey, Qualities Creations, welcome in. You could put, like, use the Velcro, because if you're going to put some coin in there, you definitely want to put a closure on there because you're hanging it on the outside of your thing. But that's how I was figuring out, is if you were going to do like the quarter, and like on Monday night, Bobby had made, she had made a little in the hoop project that was, for the Aldi's, for the quarter, and she has Aldi's in her area, and I guess you need a quarter to pay for the buggy or to rent the buggy, the grocery cart, and then you get it back. But so that you always have a quarter, it was a little in the hoop quarter holder, that you would put on your key ring. So this you could do as well. You can make this and just use Velcro to close it. And then that way you can open it, put your quarter inside, and hang it on your keys or your purse. And so that would be cute. I'll do that. We don't have all these here, but I'll do that as a sample. And so anyway, but this is the alternative look of my charms. Here's the one, and I'll use this 3 pieces. So this one uses, these 3 pieces are all the same size. So you do 1 for the bottom and then 2 for here. And the same thing is, you stitch this to this and then this to this. So this is always in the middle. And the same thing for this is, you stitch these to this and this. It's just that these are not all 3 the same size. And so anyway, but yeah, for just a different look. So, and I would figure out the Velcro before you stitch the sides together. Well, actually, you know what? And you could do a cam snap now that I'm looking at it, because if you're going to put a quarter in there, you would only need to close it up like this, because a quarter is not going to slip by either side. All right. So I'll work on that. I've already been on 2 hours and 40 minutes, which doesn't bother me because I don't have to rush off to my family until 5:30 my time. But I just, I will play with that, and I'll do that on Monday night. I'll show I'll do the quarter thing. So I'll play with that. Hi, DB. Okay. Been in the bushes. And so all right, so I have this is my bag of scraps, and this is Scrapbuster project. And so I'm even using scrap batting. So this is quilt batting, and then I have, stuffing from a dog toy that I purchased. That wasn't a dog didn't play with it, but I purchased it just because I needed a squeaker. Since then, I have found the squeakers in Hobby Lobby that they said they don't carry, but they do. Um, and it's just not where they thought that it was. It's like in the accessory section. Um, so I'm like I was looking at the bandanas and that kind of stuff. So it's over in that area. So stuff it, and then I'm turning down the top. Whereas when I did this one, I pressed down a 1/4 inch um before I sewed the sides. This one I did not do that. And so I'm just folding it over, and so it's a little difficult when I have arthritis in my thumbs, so it makes it a little difficult. So to do tiny stuff like this. So then I just stick my strap in there and then pin it in place just to hold that in place because you can't get a clip around it. And I'm using 1-inch split rings. I just love these little bins. They came 3 in a pack at Michael's. They were cute. I needed I needed them in my life, and then I found a purpose for them. I used them uh, in my when I had I still have my Joy, um, and I also have a Joy Extra. Um, but I have a cart that has all of the Joy supplies. Okay, so let me stick a pin on the side there to hold that. And then you just kind of place the straps where you want them. I think I'm going to move them in closer together so that they're a little longer. Hi, V. You're in the bushes too, listening while I find clothes to sell. I got a purge in this house. Yeah, that's what um, my family, their community that they live in does a yard sale twice a year. But here we have to pay, $20 fee or $20. We have to pay $20 to have a yard sale. You can't just set it up in your yard. So anyway, but because it's a HOA, it's their event, and so they're doing advertising. They're they have a Facebook group that is public that we could, we can upload pictures. So I have a 3-room tent. So it's 2 rooms and it has a patio. It's quite large. And I want to sell that. And then I have, like, when my air conditioner was out, I have a portable room air conditioner that's on wheels. I want to sell that. So I have big items that I want to sell. I have cases, 2 cases of the Cricut sublimation mugs, the all white ones. I'm selling those. um 12 ounce and the 15 ounce. Because my sawgrass is down right now, so I don't need those. And I still have a half of a case, so it's not like I'm, like when I get my sawgrass up and running again, I can use that. All right, so they look they look evenly spaced out here, and so I just need to tuck that, make sure that these are tucked in. Yeah, so note to self, I'm definitely going to be pressing down 1/4 of an inch, um, the tops before I sew the edges together, because it's just much more easier to work with, to make sure that the edges get in there. All right, so let's finish this up. If I'm really hungry, so I'm having, excuse me while I have some protein shake. Chase the hunger away. All right. I'm gonna, oh yeah, that's what I was having trouble with the other one, is it was getting caught in the feed dogs. So um moving it far enough away. All right, success. So where's that pin? That's cute. So as you can see, they're real easy to make. And then you could still do like put a little ribbon here as a bow. You can like make a little bag charm for this, like put a little ribbon around it with some beads on it or something, and hang this on your purse as well. So I like this because then it's let me see. Yeah, I think I'm going to do, because I have some little ribbon and I can add a little ribbon. I'll do black. And so, but yeah, that looks really cute. Really cute like that. And then the other one, I still have to finish that. Um yeah, so for this purse, I like this one more, for this, because this one you barely see it. But yeah, it definitely will look good with the little black ribbon on it. I have some really thin, which is eighth of an inch wide, satin ribbon. That'll be cute. So I have like a whole stack of my fabrics all ready to just get everything cut and ready um to just sit down and do batch sewing. I mean, I do have more to cut. Um this one I need to. So just to do a recap, um this is my prototype, and I'll be doing this color snap on it. And reason why I didn't do that yet is because I need to fix. Yeah, I need to do that. I work with blessings, you know. So I mean this here, let me find it here. So this here I went off the edge, and then I was really crooked over here. So I want to remove those stitches and redo them before I add the cam snap on there. Um, because you know I'm selling it, so I need to fix that. Um, yeah, with my blessings that I got, that's what I got. I got which I did a video for. I have to post it. I got the lobster claws for the purses. I mean for the wristlets, teeth fobs, and then I got this full set, and it came with the snaps. So I'll be making those. So anyway, so yeah, so charms are something that I'll have to get, and I'll get those um next round of blessings. But yeah, I want to make those charms and stuff and beads. And I know I have, but you know what? I have charms too, because I used to make earrings, and they are here. They're in a bin with all my leather and faux leather and everything for jewelry making. So so yeah, thanks, Dee. I'll can't say when I'm gonna get in there and get that, because I have I'm still healing from being in there the last time. So anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Um, and this I did 4 3/4 wide. My next, and I already have one cut for with the same measurement. I'm going to just go ahead and make the pattern 5 inches wide, or might as well make it 5 inches wide. But I did a 1/4 inch seam, so I could either leave it as is 4 3/4 and then just do smaller, not 1/4 inch seams. It's like, why do we do 1/4 inch seams and then trim it away down to an eighth? Let me know in the comments below. I always like, why do we do that? And but anyway, then so anyway, so I like how this turned out. Where's my my gift gas card from Sam's Club? Um, well, it does fit in here. Just do it at the correct angle. So it just fits in here, and my Cash App card is the same size. So this is something that you can gift to somebody, you know, when you give them a gift card. You can do with like the lobster claw, and and hang it on the outside of a gift bag or something, and then that way they have it year round. They can use it as a little wallet or a card when they're done using it as a gift card. I mean, when the gift card is empty, or they could use it to gift to somebody else with a gift card, teacher gifts. Um, it's all occasion, but and like I said, you don't have to even put the tab on. You can just do it like this. And I brought my stocking out, because then you just stick it in the stocking. Um, we do if the stockings are out, we just like make donations to the stockings. But anyway, so yeah, so I like that, and I'll be like fixing this up and then finishing that, and I'll be cutting some more out. I just have these two cut out. This one is going to be opposite. This is the front, and then this is the lining, and then ouch, my strap is this color. So I did that opposite. So this is the lining color. I love it. I love it. And so like I said, I have a stack of all these fabrics and that I'll be cutting out. And I cut out these, and I cut out these. I have two more that are cut out here. And then I have for the wristlets. Oh, and the tissue. I didn't, I'm almost 3 hours. The tissue I'll do later, but I'll show you. Here's the wristlets. I did this one last Wednesday, and then this one I did, and these are the lobster claws that I got with my blessing gift card money. And where is my I can't believe that's gone. I showed it at the beginning. Oh, maybe that's what fell. I think that's what fell. It's not on this table. All right, that's very, very strange. All right. That's oh, here it is. This was inside it. That's why I couldn't see it. All right. Like my little project, and these are the little bins from Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still have them. Yes, it's material. It's from Walmart. And I just did I used the cotton batting inside of it to give it a thicker fluffy look. Makes it softer. So these are the tissue holders, and then I added a tab with the a split ring on top of it, so you can add it to a carabiner or a lobster hook that you have on your purse or something like that. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing. I added Monday night. I um, added the straps to all of the ones that I have made, and so I just have one cut out of one cut ready to go. But I'm not going to do that here because I don't want to keep you all here too much longer. This one I did. This one is quilted. I did two strips with the navy background and then two strips with the white background and quilted that together. So this one is actually thicker. I'm not quite sure I'm going to post these at the yard sale. I'm going to do these at the yard sale, but not these because I don't speak Spanish, and so to make it easier on my daughter-in-law, that's going to have to do all the translating um, to speak to the people. Um, then I'm just going to do just these. These don't have interface or don't have interfacing or batting in these. So yeah, I've been busy, but so on Wednesday I'm going to be doing stocking stuffer, gift ideas, and so they're going to be quick, easy little projects. They'll be quick and easy once you figure them out. Once I figure them out, then I can do a smoother tutorial. But it's fun. I'm so happy y'all are here and keep me company. And but I'm going to be items that I'm going to be selling, adding to my table. And like I said, the priority is to sell the bigger items, but also test market, get my business out there and test market, what's going to sell here in South Texas. So I'll be making these ringlets or strap wristlets. I do want to learn the scrunchy ones and the other kinds with the clamp thingies, but for right now, this is what I'm going to be doing is this kind, and I love this. And now this one is a clamp I got at Hobby Lobby. You buy them in a pack of two, so they're quite expensive. Um, so I'm not going to be selling this one. This one goes to my purse. So I'll be doing wristlets. I'll be doing these. I'll be selling these, and I'll be selling these. So 4 projects that I'll be selling, little projects that people can buy, you know, as stocking stuffers. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing multiples of all of these 4 items. And the sale is on the 18th. So I have till next Friday because we'll be setting up on Friday night. So I was going to say my husband, my son is a real stickler about his garage. And so I asked him, I said, because his wife told me I can bring him over Friday, bring everything over on Friday, so we could set up in the garage. So we just have to open the door. And that's a lot of big stuff, but I don't want to be making multiple trips. I need to space it out because of my fibromyalgia. And so asked my son the other day, I says, so can I start bringing stuff over um, uh, when I come over for family dinners so that I'm not bringing everything over, making multiple trips all day long Friday? And he says, I didn't know nothing about it. Okay. It wasn't time to tell him, I guess, but his mother needs to know. I do not have an Etsy shop. I have a Square. I have a Square shop. I have a Square. I have a Square site. So I don't know if you can scan that, but the link is in my channel description. And so that's my Square site. And then the link to my link tree is also in there. And when you click on the link tree, it has all of my socials. It has the um, YouTube, um, Instagram, Facebook, and buy me coffee. The Cash App isn't on there. I have to add the Cash App link to that. But anyway, so yeah, so the link tree has everything, and then that stays updated. But I haven't updated my website in a while. I need to do that because now none of my sewing stuff is on there, but all my bling is on there. So, all right, we've been just over 3 hours. So, uh, you know what? And I do have the leather, the faux leather in that print as well as cow print. And so but I have when I get in there, um I'll pull those bins out, and they'll probably take the space of that air conditioner and two blowers. I'll pull that bin and the jewelry bin. Well, actually, the faux leather is in the jewelry bin. So anyway, all right, let me go ahead and move me over since we're just chatting. Go ahead and shut this off, and that's getting ready to change. So thank you all for coming in. I really appreciate it. And be careful. Yeah, yeah, I got to be careful in there, and so that's why I need to get rid of stuff that I'm not going to use. I mean, when I didn't sell my tent in California because we camp, but they haven't camped, since their kids are not kids anymore. They're adults with kids, so anyway, so yeah, so we did 4 generation. That's what I loved. So we did 4 generation pictures on Saturday since we were together. Just two of the daughters were missing, and three of the grandchildren, great grandchildren. Anyway, so thank you for coming in and hanging out with me. I know many of you are working and being able to listen. And I know that you do watch the replay later. I appreciate that. Hopefully y'all have hit the thumbs up. It really does help. I am so close to 500, and I'm getting excited. I actually hold my breath when I get in there and check and see, you know, it, when I get a notification that I don't always get a notification, only if their channel is public. I'll get a notification that they subscribed. But anyway, so be safe, everybody, and stay comfortable. I like it hot over here, but I do have to still stay comfortable in the heat. And I will see most of you tomorrow night at Patch Hat Crew. Laura is back, and so we're going to do a live tomorrow night. And it's July theme. That's all I know. But if I get something else finished, I'll show that on tomorrow night. But then also have the Night Owl Crew, Night Owl Crafting on Monday night. And if any of you are night owls that want to come join me, just let me know. Bobby joined me. She's retired now, so she joined me Monday, and she's still getting used to not having to wake up early. So she did walk, she did leave before I finished. But anyway, but Anyway, I love y'all and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed day. Bye.